On March 31st, 2021, Cesar Chavez Day, I announced that I was going to be running for the U.S. House of Representatives right here in what was at the time California's 11th Congressional District. And I know I look so congressional with my backwards cap and bro top. You guys want to see my sticker? One of my campaign stickers? I'm not making this up. I ran for Congress. Where do I begin? So I made the announcement March 31st, Cesar Chavez Day, intentionally. And then the next day, April Fool's, April 1st, I actually filed to run with my team. We did that over a live on social media. Now that you finally know what the big secret announcement is, I hope it makes a lot more sense, because I've been leaving out a large part of what's been going on in the background, because this announcement, as you can imagine, was several months in the making. So I had been meeting with my campaign manager over Zoom because she was in LA. Later on, she ended up moving up to San Francisco. My team was actually spread out all over the United States. Southern California, Chicago, San Francisco. I had someone working in Boston too. And I had no idea what I was doing. I did everything wrong. And the campaign and my life were pretty much inseparable for its duration. And as I've already alluded to, this put a huge amount of stress on my relationship with Peter, on my relationship with my family, and my relationship with my best friend, Michelle. Running for office, there's a reason why only rich people do it. Running for office literally means that you can afford to sit in an office all day or in a house and make phone calls all day long asking people for money. That's what I quickly realized. So sometime towards the end of March, I moved into my office, got an office on Market Street, and I'm all chipper. I'm running for office, right? I'm running for Congress. Oh, except I no longer have a job, because if you remember, I sold my business. So the nest egg, the little amount of money wasn't very big, honestly, that I had from selling my business, I could see that was not going to last very long. So I had to quickly begin looking for a way to be able to afford to sit in the office and make phone calls all day. I will get to that absolutely in the next video, but you can already see how this event and this was literally not only life-changing, but like life-rattling. And why did I decide to run? So I'm trying to keep this all in the context of my relationship with Peter. And let me answer. So I always knew I was going to run for office. I always knew I was going to run for office at some point. I thought I was going to run for like school board. I thought I was going to run for like maybe district supervisor, what any other city would call like city council. In a nutshell, the reason why I decided to run for a federal seat is because the planet doesn't have much time. Humanity doesn't have much time. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to get into all my reasonings because I'll tell you this, I did not file until I sat down and was able to write out at least one reason for every year that I had been on the earth. So when I decided to run for Congress, I was 27, almost 28, because my birthday's in May. And wow, it literally feels like a lifetime ago. Okay, so that brings us to the beginning. So I filed April 1st. I had a team that was working for me, and essentially my days turned into me being on the phone all day, what they call call time. And in the evening, my days were so long. Like in the evening, and I get it. Like, right, I'm only running for Congress, right? What was I expecting? My evenings, I'm more of an early riser, early to go to sleep. My campaign manager was a night owl and would also get up late. And so we would have every single day a debriefing meeting at 10 o'clock over Zoom. Most of our campaign was over Zoom, including my campaign launch, which was attended by, that was a little tricky because usually the big part about the campaign is you have the in-person launch, right? My campaign manager had found a really good, like a DJ to do it. I had a good number of people show up. Peter was actually insanely supportive at this time. He got his mom to show up, a bunch of his friends. That was really cool. So at least we were kind of off to a good start. I had my closest friends from my life actually speak at my campaign launch, and every one of them administered a different oath. I think there were 5 different speakers, 5 different oaths. You can go head over to my campaign Instagram to find out more about that. The first mistake I made, and I'll talk about a few. The first mistake I made was that you don't run for a federal seat in a non-election year. But nobody was going to tell me differently. So I had consulted a few different people, but it was more like I had already made the decision and I was not listening, and I was not willing to listen to anybody who was telling me not to do this and that it was going to be very expensive. That I mean, do you people know who represents my district? Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, I give a tour in her neighborhood, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting way ahead of myself. So, yeah, that was quite the experience. It is the experience. So running for Congress, by the end of this year, I was broker than broke. By the end of 2021, I was single, and I had lost my best friend in the entire world. I will fill in those blanks over the next several videos, but that's the part that they don't tell you. You know, you think that, especially because I come from an activist background, I've been an activist and an organizer my entire life, and I'm not here to impart any political or social agenda whatsoever, which is why I'm being very careful with what I do want to with what I am sharing and how it pertains to the overarching story. But, you know, it can be argued I don't come from, by any means, the political background that most of these people come from. I'm working class, I'm mixed race, I'm a small business owner. I also had to take out student loans to fund my education. So honestly, people, if they had anything bad to say or think about me, they kept it to themselves, because throughout the duration of my campaign, at least people to my face took me very seriously. And we actually, the first filing deadline, we raised a good little chunk of money for a first-time candidate who, like I said, did everything wrong. But yeah, this campaign took everything from me. And it just felt like I was hemorrhaging money, like literally hemorrhaging money, because you have to keep in mind that even if you're not bringing in donations, there's office rent, there's my graphic designer, that sticker didn't design itself, my web designer. Like, I have so many different expenses that people don't tell you. By the way, like filing has a fee. So again, just to give you folks a little glimpse of what's coming up and what was going and how it affected my relationship with Peter. Coming up.